Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Football live on KNEO.org. This is a presentation of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. This is your home for every sack, interception, and touchdown. Now, let's go live to the game site for all the action.
And a pleasant good evening to you, Wildcat Nation. Zach Bertrand alongside Craig Bosley and Caleb Shoemate, your brand new crew for this 2026-2027 Wildcat campaign. Craig, how you doing?
I'm doing well tonight. How about yourself, Zach?
Not too bad. Glad to be alongside you. Glad to be alongside Caleb running our camera tonight. We are here at the Carthage Jamboree, where we will see the Neosho Wildcats take on the Carl Junction Bulldogs first. And then after that, we're going to make an old switcheroo, and we'll see Neosho versus Nevada. And then, so just to run over the first few games, like we said, Carl Junction, Neosho. The first Wildcat game, you'll see the Tigers, I guess Carthage versus Nevada in the first round matchup. And then they'll switch, and you'll see Carthage versus Carl Junction and Neosho versus Nevada. So, Craig, I think obviously your first year here in the booth for the Wildcats. What's some things you're looking forward to this year?
Well, I'm excited to see that explosive offense from the Neosho Wildcats that we've seen in the past, and they put up a lot of points last year, and they got a new defensive coordinator coming in this year, and I think that's going to be a step in the right direction. They're running a little bit of a different defense this next year, and so I think that's going to be super excited. That's going to be really exciting about how that's going to come about, and so looking forward to seeing what that defense is going to be able to do. We've been able to put up a lot of points, so maybe we can get a few more stops this year.
Yeah, like you talk about that defense. First year defensive scheme under brand new defensive coordinator Kenny Newman. Going to switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4 are the Wildcats, and kind of return a lot of experience on the defensive line. Obviously, we talked about it kind of before we got on the air. You lose a big piece in Everson Tomlinson. Obviously, that's some big shoes to fill, literally and figuratively. He put up a lot of production, even missed some time last year and put up a lot of production, got in the backfield a lot, had a lot of tackles for loss. But, it's going to be this is kind of a year where you see maybe some of those younger sophomores, juniors step up and kind of play some key roles on the defense this year.
Yeah, hopefully those boys can really step up and fill those shoes and bring about some change. When you got some kids that have played some varsity time, but you're going to have some kids that haven't played varsity time. It's going to be a different game for them, and hopefully that they can make that adjustment and kind of get the feel for it tonight and really set a new tone for that defensive line this next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you look across to the other side of the football. Offensively, you've got a lot of skill positions coming back, but on the line, offensively, you're a little bit younger, but a little bit bigger is what Coach Towdy told me. We may be a little younger, have a couple junior sophomores on the line, but we've got some good size and some good strength, which I think always makes for a good offensive line.
Yeah, and the big part is that offensive line. If they're able to keep Blaine Patterson upright, that's going to be a big piece. That if he has any time for that'd be to be able to get the ball downfield.
Looks like we're going to start the national anthem, so we're going to step away for a quick 60-second break here on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
I learn best by doing.
I enjoy helping others.
I want to leave my mark.
Here, I discovered what I can do and who I can become.
What begins on this campus moves into studios, hospitals, and communities around the globe.
This is Missouri Southern State University.
Explore boldly.
Care deeply.
Impact globally.
One expanded mission built with lion pride.
Today's sporting event is being made available for your family by Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rental, located just off Highway 49 at the Carterville exit by Casey's. Open Monday through Friday and Saturdays till noon with rentals of outdoor construction equipment and even attachments for your machines. Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rentals is a proud supporter of today's game. 417-317-4995.
Welcome back here to David Hafner Stadium here in Carl Junction, the beautiful facility here in Carthage. You know, we kind of all were amazed when we took an elevator up to this press box and get in here, and it's all AC'd and nice out from the heat. It's a different kind of feeling here in Carthage. I think a newer press box, so we're very honored to be up here covering the Wildcats tonight and looking forward to some good football this upcoming season. Like we were saying, offensively, the Wildcats return, obviously, Blaine Patterson at quarterback, which is a big piece. Anytime you return a quarterback that puts up the kind of numbers Blaine does. But then you look at the skill positions. You've got Haven Plummer, Mason Spiva, Lincoln Howard, who actually will be moving from a slot position to running back this year. So going to see Howard and Patterson, I think, kind of the tandem in the backfield this year, which kind of looking to see what the Wildcats do with that. That's a lot of speed in the backfield, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you get speed always does kill. I mean, it's tough to be able to, if they can hit the hole quick, you know, then you're already to the second level, and then your linebackers are making a play, and hopefully they're 3 or 4 yards down the field by the time they make that first contact and carry maybe 5 yards. With the receivers, you know, you're going to expect that there'll probably be a lot of quick hitters right out of the box with a new offensive line until they get their feet wet.
Yeah. So getting into the action here, looks like the Wildcats going to take the field, or Wildcats offense going to take the field first against the Carl Junction Bulldogs. We'll kind of talk about them here on as the scrimmage progresses. First play going to go to Lincoln Howard, takes it right up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks another one, keeps his feet moving. Howard for a gain of, looks like 8. So a good run to start it off for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he took that about 8 yards, 9 yards. Actually, maybe they're moving the chains. They're moving the chains.
So they will.
So he actually
gain the first down.
But they were getting a good push at that offensive line.
Little quick hitter here, just over the head of number 7, Weston Richardson, a junior, who I've heard a lot about, not only from Coach Towdy, but Blaine Patterson himself had said, you know, he's kind of a guy that's not afraid. If we're going to take some deep shots this year, he's not afraid to go up and get it. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of role the junior plays in the offense this year. As the Wildcats back set, ready to go. 4-man front for the Bulldogs. Play action over the middle to Haven Plummer, and he'll take it in for a Wildcats touchdown. The first one we see of the year. Scrimmage or not, it feels good to end up in the paint.
Yeah, he just hit him on a nice little slant there, and the safety had played back off, and so he was able to cut it up underneath and take it right to the goal line.
A beautiful ball by Patterson there. I mean, obviously we were talking about him just before we got going, but having him coming back kind of as that leader we've heard in the not only the weight room but the classroom, and especially on the field, to have a guy like Blaine Patterson back for another year is got to be very promising for Coach Towdy and his staff.
Yeah, that's really nice to have, you know, a run and a couple passes and able to score a touchdown.
Another play here for the Wildcats. Patterson will roll out, hit Plummer on the sideline. Looks like he'll gain about 9 yards. Well, maybe
like 10.
Should give him the first down, so the Wildcats move the chains once again. So another 1st and 10 coming. Wildcats getting set quick. We'll kind of go over the offense here in just a second as Patterson pulls this one out, gets it to Plummer again on a little bubble screen, and he's wrapped up by a pack of Bulldogs for, looks like maybe a gain of 2 or 3. We'll call it 3.
Yeah, there were several guys right there around there. I didn't quite see who was out front blocking. They did make one hit on one of them, but they got there pretty quick and closed that gap.
It was number 35 on the tackle, Sayer Sunday, somebody that we'll talk about some later on as a flag called. Looks like it's going to be on the Wildcats. So the penalty will draw them back 5 yards. False start on the Wildcats. Let's kind of go over the positions here. Like we talked about, you saw obviously Haven Plummer's got some action. Blaine Patterson at quarterback. Lincoln Howard at running back. Then you've got number 9, Cade Sykes, a junior, 6'2", 190, kind of in the slot position down here at the bottom of your screen. And then Mason Spiva in the slot up top makes out the skill positions as the handoff goes to Howard. He'll cut up the middle and looks like he'll get about
I thought for a second there
7.
they had a free play. It looked like that Carl Junction was in the neutral zone, but
Carl Junction kind of bring in a mass substitution, you're trying to let as many guys see the field as possible tonight because you never know when those guys are going to be needed throughout the season. So Wildcats with a Second and about 5. It looks. Patterson looking down the field, gets it to Richardson, who goes up and gets it for the Wildcat touchdown. Weston Richardson, his first time in the end zone this year. Like we said, Craig, scrimmage or not, it always feels good to get that first one out of the way.
Absolutely. He ran just a little tight post there and beat his guy on the inside and went up and got it. Great job of keeping his eyes on the ball and pulling that one in.
Beautiful ball placement by Plain Patterson. Kind of put it up where only his guy could go and get it.
Absolutely.
As it looks like another quarterback was brought in. It'll be Easton White, number 10. It looks like Blaine going to make his way off the field. Obviously, you don't want to cause any injuries that don't need to happen here in the Jamboree. You've got a big season coming up, obviously a very tough COC schedule that we'll go over kind of later on in the night and talk about maybe what the season will look like for the Wildcats.
Looks like they put running back Colby McGee in as well. And McGee gets that carry.
McGee turning the feet, and that's something you see a lot of the Wildcats running backs tonight. Got some notes here on the Carl's Junction Bulldogs. Kind of talk about them a lot. They're coming off a 7-5 season, most wins since 2017. So looks like this program building in the right direction. Is another handoff to McGee up the middle, wrapped up by a couple Bulldogs. I saw number 25 in there, Cole Messer, a junior wide receiver and outside linebacker.
I got to hand it to this Neosho line. They're really getting a pretty good push off of right up the middle, and so they're getting a good push, and so that really helps your running backs hit that hole.
Easton White takes the snap, another handoff to McGee, finds a hole, cuts to the outside, down the sideline, throws a stiff arm, and gets drove out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. A good run from McGee, kind of a bigger kid, but seems to have a set of wheels on him, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely. He got down the field quick. It looked like they had a little counter going on. One of their offensive linemen pulled. I couldn't see exactly which one it was, but he pulled and kicked out that backside tackler.
Carl Junction defense trying to get set, the 4-man front. Easton White takes the snap again. A little quick throw to Mason Spiva, who cuts back inside, and he's wrapped up by just a couple Bulldogs. I see number 53 in there, Ethan Garrow. Number 5 was in there. That's Ryan Birch.
That was actually a really nice job just catching the ball and turning around and getting the yards he could get rather than trying to do too much and taking a chance of losing the football with that many guys around you.
Another play coming for the Wildcats. A handoff to McGee, who finds a hole. And up the middle for another Wildcats touchdown. As that's, 3 times now the Wildcats have found the end zone here in the scrimmage.
All 3 possessions.
So that's got to feel good for the Wildcats, as it looks like a slew of new players coming in. I'm trying to see if Easton White goes out, but it looks like he's going to stay in. Number 27, Logan Hearn, a sophomore who, as a freshman, really stood out on the baseball field. I'm not sure if he played football last year or not, but was a very big-time standout on the baseball field for the Wildcats. So looking to see what he can do here on the football field in his sophomore season. Flag called, and receiver falls. Ball bobbled by number 15. That's Justin Gaither, quarterback / outside linebacker for the Bulldogs, who almost had the interception.
Looks like they've changed out some of the offensive line as well.
Yeah.
I think the only one that's remaining is Michael Shellhorn, senior, and he's anchoring that offensive line from the center position.
A couple new skill guys we'll go over just here in a second. I see number 18 down here, Clayton Freeman at the bottom of the screen. As a handoff to Hearn up the middle for, call it 4 yards. Number 16 out here as well. That's Eben Cobine, a sophomore. Number 19 at the top of your screen, Eli McBee. And
is that number 16 on the near side here?
We got 16 and 12. That's Grayson Thurlow. As a throw from White does go to Eli McBee, just couldn't hold on to it. So the Bulldogs, like we said, coming off a 7-5 season, their best since 2017. couple seniors that will be manning or kind of controlling the offensive line, kind of the captains of that unit. We've got a couple receivers coming back that both went for over 600 yards last year. And Maddox Shorter, according to their head coach, the fastest player on the team. I know you said you played with his dad. Is that something Shorters have, Craig? Is that
Shorters have some speed.
Do they?
And I actually blocked for his dad, Brad, and he was a lefty, so I was actually the left tackle, so I really wasn't his blindside tackle, but I did block for him, and he could run the ball, he could throw the ball. He was very athletic, and one of the most winningest coaches in basketball across the state of Missouri. Girls basketball, let me get that correct. He's been coaching the girls for some time.
Another play coming for the Wildcats. Looking downfield. Nice find over the middle by Easton White. It's number 12, Grayson Thurlow on the reception. That was just a really good, kind of looked the defender off there with his eyes and then found Thurlow just sitting down kind of right there in the middle of the field. Get on the ball quick, and another snap coming for the Wildcats. Hand off to Hearn, who's got really good speed. Not the biggest guy out there, but sometimes that makes for the best running backs, especially if you look in today's game. You've got some smaller guys that can really do some damage.
Yeah, he still picked up 4.5 yards on that play. So speed does takes a while for guys to get their hands on those quick fellas in the backfield.
Call coming in from the sideline. Wildcats are set in a shotgun formation, 4-man front for the Bulldogs. Play action, little screen out here and throw just wide to Evan Cobine.
And the time just
As
expired.
it looks like time's expired, so the Wildcat defense will come onto the field to see how they match up against the Bulldog offense.
I'm excited to see how this defense is going to look with this having a 3 front, maybe a little bit of 4 front as well, and if they're going to walk backers down in the A and B gaps and see what they're going to look like with this different defense coming out.
Just some notes on the defense. Obviously, like you said, first year into a 3-4 instead of a 4-3. Experience on the defensive line. Coach Towdy has told me the back end is maybe where the younger guys are. You've got some younger guys in the back end. You've got some inexperience back there, which a lot of coaches will tell you don't want to get beat over the top. But I always live by it. I don't know about you, but games are won and lost in the trenches. So
Absolutely.
If we can create pressure and create some tackles for loss, and those guys on the back end can do their job, I feel like you said earlier and kind of in the pregame, a couple more stops this year, and I think there's a couple more games that might go the Wildcats' way this year.
It's like Carl Junkson's coming out in twins and into motion.
Hand off to the running back. That is number 22, looks like. 22 is the running back. That is Tristan Lopez, a sophomore. Pretty good size. Number 12, Burke Diskin, a senior quarterback and safety, stands at 6'1", 195, is the quarterback for the Bulldogs. Really good.
Shorter just checked into the game, and he's on the far end now.
So the throw goes to number 4. Good wrap-up tackle by number 8, Tanner Shade.
Yeah, he was gobbled up on that play.
As the catch or the reception went to Bryant Hanks, one of those receivers that we talked about that went for over 650 last year. Good size on the offensive line for the Bulldogs. I've seen number 79 down there.
He's a big one.
Matthew Judy, 6'4", 330, as the sweep goes to, actually, no, it just stayed with the quarterback as Jackson Erdl, the defensive lineman, was fooled there as well.
I was fooled as well. I was looking in the backfield as well, and he came off the right side
Number
there.
55, well, it says Jackson Starr, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So Wildcat defense looking good so far. Diskin looking downfield, going to throw it up to Hanks, and just over the head of Hanks.
Looks like Tanner Shoddy was on the coverage on that one.
As the defensive line, the three-man front so far seems to be doing pretty good work for the Wildcats. So on the line, you've got Andre McCamish, a 5'10 senior, Jackson Starr, a 6'3 sophomore, and number 64 right there in the middle. That is Brian Tapia, a 6'1 junior. Motion here, handoff to the running back, and that's number 9.
Cade Sykes.
Cade Sykes laying a lick onto the running back and bringing him down.
I can't see the box over there. Can you tell what is that first down?
I cannot see it. I think it may be second here.
So we're on second down.
Yeah. Diskin going to roll out, try and look for a receiver.
Good coverage by
There's
number
a great
21.
coverage right there by number 21, Dane Arthur. Kind of playing that free safety position out there. Dane, only a junior, stands at 5'11". His number 7, Weston Richardson, has just checked in at corner. This Nevada Carthage scrimmage going on over here, looking to be a pretty good one. Carthage we'll talk about a little bit. Obviously, that's one team we'll see later on in the year. Actually, we closed the season with Carthage here back in Carthage. Probably going to be a little bit colder about that time we head back here, isn't it, Craig?
Let's hope so anyway.
Diskin gets set and takes the snap. Motion for the Bulldogs as a handoff goes to the running back, number 27. That is Giovanni Kelly.
Looks like Abraham Rogers was on the backside of that, kind of pulling backwards on him, and I couldn't tell who the other one that came in to help out with the rest of that play.
Number 76, Abram Rogers, and number 52, it looked like to me, Michael Shellhorn.
Okay, well, Shellhorn's also playing that center on the offensive line, so it looks like he might play both ways a little bit this year.
Carthage we'll talk about a little bit. They bring back a lot this year, obviously coming off a state championship overtime loss to Platte County. Somebody that for the past few years, Platte County has kind of been the school up in is that the Kansas City area, stuff like that? I believe so.
I believe so.
But somebody that's kind of run that division up there, that Kansas City division. But Carthage, an overtime loss to them last year. We'll learn a lot about them throughout the year, so I'm not going to cover them too much. But I think really, if you're a Carthage fan, you're excited that Landon West is coming back. Landon West,
Absolutely.
an all-state selection, kind of went for, I think, 1,500 scrimmage yards, something like that, just a crazy number. So, and Carthage for the past few years, it's kind of been Carthage and Nixa right there at the top of the COC. So, going to be
we just had an incomplete pass down here, but Abram Rogers was getting pressure on the quarterback right off the bat, so he had to get rid of it sooner than he wanted to there.
Diskin takes the snap, and the handoff goes to the running back, and he's just swallowed right there by a couple Wildcats. That's number 59. That
Caleb
is
Wilfong.
Caleb Wilfong, and there was another one in there. I believe it was Shellhorn again. They both were just sitting there licking their chops waiting for him.
That was a little screenplay, wasn't it? Is that what I saw?
Well, it was just a regular handoff, but there was a motion into the handoff. So
I looked up at the last minute.
Yeah.
I was looking at my roster and looked up at the last second.
Carl Junction gets set again. Have yet to find the end zone. A new quarterback in, and he gets rocked. Completes the pass, but he gets lit up by Wilfong. That's number 14, Brody Allen, a sophomore quarterback. He just ran into a wall there.
I don't think Carl Junction's finding an answer for Wilfong right now.
Yeah. This 3-4 front seems to be doing pretty good things so far for the Wildcats.
I guess the coaches have seen enough. They're pulling Wilfong and Shellhorn out.
Shellhorn and Rogers make their way out. I saw number 74 check in. That's Reese Harris, a sophomore. The handoff goes to the running back. That's Mason Spiva on the tackle.
It was like about a pickup of about 4.
Some new guys have checked in. Number 12, Grayson Thurlow. Is that number 25? Manny Pickings. Number 6, Caleb Godberson, a junior, stands 6'1", 185 for the Wildcats. Great to see the Wildcat cheer squad here tonight as well. Kind of their jamboree, their first warm-up of the season for Friday nights.
Everybody needs some practice.
A low snap, and then the throw just low as well.
Yeah. Of course, the officials are getting their workouts as well. I recognize this official, Josh Farley with the white hat, here with Neosho and Carl Junction right now.
That was Cameron Harris, I believe the twin brother of Reese Harris on the pressure there. Pretty cool to have a set of twins on the defensive line, number 73 and number 74 down there.
Yeah. Boy, if they didn't have a different number, they would look an awful lot alike out there, wouldn't they?
I mean, they're in their three-point stance the same exact way. It's everything. Ball kept here by the quarterback.
Oh, he's in it.
And then he gets...
Did they blow the play dead, or did they just
either blew the play dead, or maybe they just gave him the touchdown. Something happened because
they're resetting the ball back
where
it was. So the officials must not blew the play live yet.
So it looks like number 15 now, Justin Gaither, in at quarterback for the Bulldogs, a junior quarterback and outside linebacker. We saw him make a few tackles on Neosho's part of the offensive. Snap goes to Gaither. He'll keep it, makes a cut back up the middle. Gets wrapped up by a few Wildcats, but does gain the first down.
Yeah, they had everything pulled in tight that time. Our corners had to crush down on the outside edge because there was nobody out there to guard.
Looks like, well, maybe I thought this Carthage and Nevada scrimmage has wrapped up. What is it? Is it 20 plays, 30 plays apiece each team? It's something like that.
I think it's similar to that.
Probably nearing the end here of the first round of scrimmages. Just a beautiful night here at David Hafner Stadium here in Carthage, Missouri.
Unless you're sitting in the stands on the other side, and it's probably still pretty warm.
Yeah, it's probably still. And Gaither muffs the snap there, and he just lays on it. Deep shot over here on the other side of the field. Carthage makes the connection for a touchdown. Kind of always want to keep everybody in the loop. Never know who's watching. We maybe got some people tuning in from Carl Junction, some people from Nevada, some people from Carthage, wherever you are. We thank you for joining the Neosho Sports Network. Like we said, here at the Carthage Jamboree, you've got the Carthage Tigers, the Nevada Tigers, the Carl Junction Bulldogs, and the Neosho Wildcats as the throw over the head of number 32, Nate Brown, a freshman running back. And, there's another thank you, me, Craig, and Caleb, and obviously everybody back at KNEO would like to give, especially due in part to the time they spent on the Wildcat Sports Network. Without them, really, it wouldn't be what it is today. But Jim Jackson, John Ball called it a career earlier this year, and Jim Jackson making a post on Facebook earlier this week that I saw, and it's just, I remember my early days, early Friday nights, getting to spend time with them, just learning so much about the sport and about just broadcasting in general from Jim and John. So we would all like to say thank you for the time you did and for what you turned Neosho Wildcat Sports Network into.
Yeah, and if you see them out and about, tell them thank you for the time they put in. I had boys that were in athletics, and there was times we weren't able to be at the game, so it was always nice to be able to tune in. Or if you want to see something again, you could always go back and look at those as well, see the games that they had called.
And so we will make sure this year, Craig, we will make sure to keep the keys to the Cats a pregame staple as an interception. That's number 19 on the play. Eli McBee just making a great play on the ball.
Man, he went up and got that one, didn't he? And it was a pretty well thrown ball. It's just I don't think their receiver got his head turned around quite as quick as number 19 McBee.
And it looks like that'll end the first session here at the Jamboree. The Wildcats Bulldogs did not find the end zone, Craig.
No. That's a pretty good way to start off the season for sure.
Yeah, you find the end zone. What was it, 3 or 4 times?
Four
and
times,
you don't give one up there. That's big right now. If you're a Wildcat fan, that's what you like to see. Carthage and Nevada still going on down here on the other side of the field.
And I would say they're probably pretty close to wrapping things up.
Looks
as well.
like it, yeah.
Looks like Carthage is running out a whole nother crew, a whole nother line
So you
change.
probably get about 5-10 plays left in that scrimmage there. As all the players, coaches shaking hands, giving their good lucks for the season this year. These teams won't see each other again, but we will have, after every regular season game, we'll have the Freeman Sports Orthopedics post-game scoreboard show. So we will be able to keep up with all the Nevada scores, Carl Junction scores, all the scores in the state of Missouri, and even some in Oklahoma, as we are very thankful for Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for doing that and sponsoring the scoreboard show.
So Neosho is going to get ready to see Nevada when they get finished up here.
Neosho will see Nevada. There's going to be a little break here in between for Nevada, obviously. So we're going to have a little break here. But Neosho will see Nevada. Next, Carl Junction will see Carthage. And then I believe after that, it's maybe time to wrap it up, go home, and get ready for Ozark next week, as that's where we will be as we start the season at Ozark against the Tigers. And I think if you want to try and pull up the schedule real quick, we can go over that. I know we'll start at Ozark, be home week 2 versus Glendale. And then we go on the road to Waynesville. And that's the first 3 games of the season. There's not a lot has changed. That's usually first 3 or 4.
Yeah, Glendale on September 4th, and then Waynesville on September 11th. That wasn't exactly the place I should have pulled it up, because earlier, here we go, there's a schedule right there. And then September 18th, it's versus Lebanon at home, and then at home against Republic. Then we go to Willard and to Joplin, and then at Webb City and at Carthage. Those last 3 games are going to be a tough way to end your season, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the Wildcats can put together this year.
Yeah, I think if you're a Wildcat fan, you're maybe looking at the schedule saying a successful season. Obviously, you finished last season 7-5. You always want to improve that win-loss record. So if the Wildcats can sneak out another 6 or 7 wins this year, I think you're going to call that a pretty successful season. And I think in terms of, you look at Neosho and who's the teams maybe that they're biggest rivals with, or they're just kind of, there's a different meaning when you get that matchup together.
Yeah.
If you can win one of those Joplin, Webb City, or Carthage games, I think that even adds to the success of the season. Yeah, Wildcats finished 6-5 last year, 1-4 in the district. So maybe would like to improve upon that district standing. Maybe get to host a district game this year. That would be nice.
Yeah,
I think
they won that their first game in the district against Branson, and then they turned around and had to play Carthage again.
Yeah.
Man, Carthage was just a juggernaut last year.
Carthage was on a mission, and I'm sure there'll be an even bigger one this year after coming off the state championship loss.
Especially as they've really reloaded. They've really just they didn't lose a lot of players, so they're just going to reload. I'd say that they're going to be one of the higher power ranked teams in the state.
Scrimmage still going on down here. Is a good run by the Carthage running back. Goes for about a gain of 15. See a good little student section on the far side over there. pretty sure that's for Neosho over there. And then, I don't know if you know this now, but they actually have a name for it. It's called The Wild, is the student section name now. So we never had a name for it when me and Grant were in school. I don't know if they had it when Carter was in school. But
they had a really good student section when he was in, but I don't know if it was called, if they actually had a name for it. Oh, just off the hands down there.
Lady Wildcat cheerleaders down here. Good crowd down here in front of us. Obviously, you've got all the Neosho, Carthage, and Nevada, Carl Junction, grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. And I'm sure all these kids out here are super thankful for each and every family member that has come out to see them.
Yeah, they've really packed in I didn't even look down. The grandstands are packed out on this side, but of course it also was in the shade whenever the game started, so that's also very helpful.
As it looks like the Carthage Tigers and the Nevada Tigers going to wrap up their scrimmage. So the Wildcats, it looks like, going to stay on this end of the field that they were on last scrimmage. So Nevada will make their way across the field, and we'll get set up for what they call round number 2 of the Jamboree. I call it session round, I guess, really would it be, but...
And the good thing is, as much as they're changing out their lines and changing out different players, these guys are able to stay hydrated and stay cool, so there's not a need for water breaks on the Jamboree like there is. Like, once we start the regular season, Misha asked them to make sure that these guys are staying hydrated so they have water breaks. And it's also an extra timeout at the beginning of the season whenever you're still trying to hold things together.
For sure.
And if you needed to coach your kids for a little bit, you can. But it goes both ways, home team, opposing team.
Looks like Nevada, obviously, the next matchup. Carl Junction, Carthage, the next matchup. So we'll kind of go over a little bit of Nevada, what their season's going to look like, who they've got coming back. Obviously, they're in the Big 8 conference. I guess that's something I forgot to mention. Carl Junction in that newly I think it's the newest conference in Missouri.
Ozark Mountain?
The Ozark Mountain
Conference, yeah.
Where they play those schools. They're playing West Plains and Branson and people like that. Nevada in the Big 8 with Mount Vernon, Monette, the powerhouse that is Seneca, Lamar, McDonald County. So just kind of all different schools here tonight. Obviously, the 2 from the COC not going to match up because, I guess if they were, you'd probably throw your JVs at each other.
Absolutely. And that's why I think even in past seasons, like whenever Neosho would go to Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon, I believe it was, who was the other team that was down there? They would only play their JVs.
McDonald County
and Mount Vernon would play their JVs against one another, so that way they didn't have to show any extra looks that the other team didn't want.
So
they want the other team to see.
I think since Neosho took the field offensively first, they will take the field offensively second this time. So the defense should be on the field first for the Wildcats. Maybe I see Blaine Patterson warming up down here, but
it looks like the head coach for Nevada Tigers, Wes Beechler, and Coach Towdy just shook hands. I guess they were kind of getting a plan together how they wanted to attack this session.
Looks like it will be the Tigers offense coming out first. So with that, we'll kind of go over some of the Nevada notes I've taken down here. Nevada coming off an 8-4 season, a loss in the district title game, and this is probably not something you ever want to see as a head coach, but you have 3 total starters returning this year. You have 2 defensively and 1 offensively. So you've pretty much got a whole brand new defense and a whole brand new offense this year. The senior is Will Jackson, who returns at running back after a standout junior season. He was a unanimous All-Big 8 selection and a second-team Big 8 returner. Also added All-Area and second-team All-State honors. Ran for 1,498 yards and 14 touchdowns on 183 carries. So Nevada just kind of brand new this year as the first play as the quarterback Kendrick Atkins, who is also one of those two returners defensively. So he's going to fill in quarterback. You never really see your quarterback playing much of the defensive side. Plays quarterback and defensive back.
Wow. And maybe, they're down this year, so maybe he'll play both because they've lost a lot of kids too, though. So you have to have athletes out there on the field. So totally makes sense.
As Atkins going to scramble here. And got a player down, number 72 for the Tigers. As he's held back to his feet.
It's like Landon Patton.
I think maybe the play gets called dead on quarterback scrambles like that because they don't want the quarterback. I've noticed that.
I bet you're right.
I think they kind of just reset the play.
They're not wearing the red shirt for non-contact.
Yeah.
Though. Guess it wouldn't work for Carl Junction tonight though for the red shirt.
Yeah. So Atkins going to take the snap once again, hand it off in a little reverse as the Wildcats were on that one. As it was number
Jackson
20.
Starr picking that tackle up.
Number 22, Will Jackson, handed that off. Well, actually took the handoff from Kendrick Atkins, then handed it off to Adrian Clark. But the Wildcats were there and ready for it.
I don't know what classification that Nevada is, but last year they did beat Lamar pretty sound, which is surprising because Lamar's been that juggernaut in the Big 12 for so long.
Jackson, the running back?
Big 8, excuse me.
Yeah. Going to take that handoff and gets tackled after gaining the first down. So Atkins comes off the field, so a new quarterback. Try and see. Looks like it's going to be number 11. That is Jake Beechler. No? That's not him. Because he's listed at tight end. So who's the quarterback we got here? Guess we'll find out here soon enough. Number 7.
It's like we brought some different defensive backs in for Neosho.
Morgan Yoakley. Yoakley takes the snap, hands it off, and Abram Rogers on the tackle.
It looks as if Nevada is more of a run heavy offense the way they're set up. And with that, I don't know. It looks like Neosho kind of has gone to like a forefront with that.
Yep.
With them running the football like that. It's almost like an offset wishbone with the wing.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And the Tigers going to score on the Wildcats as that's number 20. Adrian Clark, the running back, on the carry for the touchdown. First touchdown the Wildcats have given up tonight. So the Wildcats going to trot out some new faces on defense now. And looks like trying to get
Beckham Slaughter ran off.
Trying to get some numbers here for I see Caden Ward out there at defensive back. Number 18, Clayton Freeman. Number 14, Jackson. Well, I can tell you right now that's not Jackson Ertl because that kid is not 6'3". Maybe they've got the Jacksons backwards because Jackson Starr is listed. Well, he's listed 6'3" too.
Yeah,
so
Jackson Starr. I believe that's 55.
I don't believe that's Jackson Ertl out there because that kid's not 6'3". We'll have to figure out who that is and get you the correct name. But then you've got number 58. Is that 58 or 59?
Yeah, Ertl's definitely not 240 either. or 14 is not.
Yeah. As Nevada, another run play up the gut for about 9 yards. Call it 8. So 2nd and 2.
Was that Grayson Thurlow on that?
Yeah, it was.
stop?
Grayson Thurlow on the tackle. Shellhorn again, too, kind of in there disrupting things. Michael Shellhorn might be a name we hear a lot this year. Obviously, like you said, offensively kind of manning the offensive line at the center position, but defensively it seemed to be a pretty good
And he's not a
piece.
He's not a huge guy.
He's not. No, he's
235, 5'10".
5'10".
Probably just one of those mean kids, man.
Yeah.
You got to be a little gritty if you're playing that offensive and defensive line.
Neosho kind of gone with a heavy set here, kind of 4 down, and they brought 2 backers up. As over the top, they get beat, and another touchdown. That's number 88, Pace Murphy, the 6'3" tight end.
I think they bid on the play action right there.
I think so. They were kind of they loaded the box, and then they kind of beat them over the top. Which you're going to get that sometimes with some inexperience on the back end.
Yeah, I think that was cover 0. I think they were bringing pretty much everybody that was right up in that box there, and so it left everybody on islands out on the outside edge. Definitely didn't have any safety help over the top.
Yeah. Nevada gets set again. 4-man front. Kind of covers here all over the place again. Is the quarterback going to roll out again? Makes another throw across the middle. And complete for about a gain of, what'd you call that, 20 there, Craig?
I would say yes.
I guess if it goes from the 40 to the
Yeah,
20,
yeah,
that would
is
probably
20.
be 20 yards.
That is 20 yards. Is that the way math works?
I guess I was never the best at it, but
Eben Comine on the coverage there.
man, I'm telling you, I'm looking across the field now, and I see number 55 standing here on the sideline, and that is definitely Jackson Ertl. Jackson Starr. I'm not sure who that is because it's not 14. They don't have the numbers mixed up because he's not 6'3". But we'll find that out, and we'll have it ready to go week 1.
I know Jackson Starr, and I'm going to text his dad. Find out.
Handoff here to the running back, cuts to the outside, got some good speed, breaks 2 other tackles, and another touchdown for the Tigers. Number 21, Colton Brandt, 5'9" sophomore for the Tigers. As it's turned into a beautiful night, looking off into the fields behind us. You got some cows back there just munching on some grass. You got a beautiful sunset going down on the other side of us. Just a beautiful time here in Carthage. Kind of my favorite time of the year. Obviously, love baseball season, but football weather and football season is probably my favorite to be here in the booth covering. Just a great time of the year, and to get to do it with 2 brand new guys who I'm very excited, looking forward to having a great season with you guys. It's going to be fun.
Another reverse by Nevada.
And number 16, that was number 28 on the carry, first of all. That's Remington Forgy. Number 16, Eben Cobine on the tackle. And Neosho kind of looked lost there. People were kind of just jogging around as it goes for a big gain down to the 5-yard line, a 35-yard rush.
Yeah, they just had that little inside give and then a little reverse right inside. There's so much going on right there at the line of scrimmage. It's probably really hard to pick up where that running back's going.
I wish we had a roster of all the cheerleaders, Craig. I like to always mention them in the game. I'm sure we'll have one week 1. A lot of teams put that on there, but since they're here tonight, I would love to mention them. Maybe their families listening in, watching.
Well, our rosters are pretty full, having 4 teams out here on the field tonight.
Yeah. But at some point this season, we know we will make sure to get those cheerleaders' names out there, because I know of some people. We've had people call from Florida that have said, "Thank you so much for covering my niece or my grandson." So we always want to make sure to try and get every single athlete, no matter the sport, out here talked about. Is it ruled a touchdown? Going to be mark him down at the 1 yard line. That was number 25 on the carry. No, excuse me, 35. Heston Hawks, a 5'6" sophomore.
So it looks like Jackson Starr is 58. He's a outside backer. We don't have his number listed here, but so he is number 58, and he's an outside backer.
It's kind of one of those things that you'll learn as the season goes, who actually is what number. And I know sometimes we saw this in Matt County before, but offensive lineman gets hurt, your tight end switches his number and goes to the offensive line, and then you've got him playing offensive line and a brand new number, and you're trying to learn it. And just one of those things, for the love of broadcasting, you'll do it. As Wildcats, kind of their first look at the night at maybe what the goal line defense is going to look like. So Wildcats looking to make a stand. I'm sure there's a couple more plays coming for the Tigers. Like we said, Nevada kind of reloading everything this year. One offensive starter returning and two defensive. And one of your two defensive goes to play quarterback this year for you is number 2, Trig Thorpe. Sorry, Craig.
Yep, he snuck right in there off the right side of the tackle's backside.
Looks like they're going to reset it. I would assume maybe 5 or so more plays coming for the Nevada offense. I think Carthage and Carl Junction have already swapped. I'm trying to see here. Looks like it is they've got their offensive starters, because I see Slade Stifler, who I've read will be their starter this year offensively at quarterback, out there, but we'll see. There's number 3 out there. There's Dominic Metlock, a senior running back. I don't see Landon West stressed out, but a player like that, I bet you're not wanting to cause any harm to the body of his tonight in the Jamboree.
Undoubtedly.
Another reverse. So the Wildcats just looking all over the place again as number 14 breaking. Wow, man, that's got to be 4 or 5 tackles there he broke.
There's a bowling ball going down through there. They're kind of trapping the tackle on that backside. They'll hand it off to that front side running back, and then he hands it to the backside, and they're that far side tackle. They're kind of trapping him right there. And so they'll cut up right in front of that other tackle and kind of leaves him high and dry, because they're making that read that the ball's coming this way, and then it's sort of like a counter almost, except for you have the running back handing off the ball to another running back, instead of having the quarterback fake it to 2 different running backs, or fake it to one and give to the other. Well, they're in a bunch formation there. Handoff up the middle. That's Jackson Deming on the carry. Looks like it's going to make it 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. And it looks like Jackson Deming's checking out, and they brought in a different running back. It's like number 17, Peyton White, is checked in. They fake to White. The quarterback rolls out to the right. makes a throw, throws to number 34 for the touchdown.
Good throw.
And that's Andrew Cornelius, the tight end. And, these nights are good nights to evaluate players as well. The Wildcats can be evaluating kids to see where they're going to fit. If somebody goes down through the season, which one's going to be the one that's going to be able to step up and just be the next man up. So when we got a few guys that are getting some experience, first time being on the field with playing up against varsity players, get some of those nerves out of the way, get them some snaps. Handoffs to number 30. He's up over the left-hand side, picks up about 9. That was Gus Smith on the carry.
Looks like a switch going to be made, so the Wildcats offense going to be headed back out. As it looks like Easton White will get the reps at quarterback this whole session.
Yeah, I'm sure they've seen enough out of Blaine after the way he played the first several snaps that they're like, okay, he looks good. Let's get him off the field and make sure we keep him healthy.
Yeah. That's a big thing, is keeping everybody healthy. Especially probably your number one priority here in the Jamboree.
Looks like the Wildcats have got twins to the right. And number 2, Lincoln Howard on the carry. Looks like he picks up about 6. Another good push by the offensive line there. Howard don't look real big, but man, he hits guys. They move. They move whenever he hits them. He's falling forward almost every play.
Yeah.
Howard's in motion to the right. Leaves a solo set for White. White throws to the right side, and he picks up Mason Spiva for the first down and a gain of about 6, maybe a short 7.
That's Howard out there that motioned out.
Was that Howard that?
Yeah,
that was Howard, number 1. No, was it him that caught it?
Yeah, it was 2.
Was it 2? I thought it was 1. I apologize.
Yes, sir. No, you're all good. Howard motions back out to the slot position. Easton White just making really good decisions here.
Yeah. Plummer making that catch. Pickup of about 7.5, it looks like. Yeah, making really good decisions. You like to see that out of your backup. That's a good thing to see, especially making good decisions. I know some of these are hot routes, but he's actually making a read. Hey, number 40's rumbling and still pushing the pile forward.
Colby
McGee on the carry. It's kind of a nice change of pace between McGee with the carry there and Howard, between the two of them. He hands to McGee again, right up the middle. McGee still stays on his feet, and he rumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
I mean, he kind of just ran through that guy there. There was no stopping him on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, the last 4 yards, that was all on him right there. No help, but man, he kept those feet moving. And the Wildcats get to start over again. Looks like Logan Hearns checked into the backfield. And he has the carry. Oh, he's hitting the backfield by number 88. That would be Pace Murphy. And 88's looks like he's a defensive end, so I wonder I wonder if they let him go and there's a miscommunication there. It was a short pass for about 6 yards. And that was caught by the number 19, Eli McBee. Zach, you'll have to tell me if my old eyes are reading this wrong.
I got you.
I think it's probably time to shut the lights off. We're getting a little bit of glare. Oh, man. Looks like we're going to spot the ball on the about the 34-yard line. Got Twins right.
Should be a free play. Oh, let him go.
They blew they blew the ball dead, man. Which I guess, I don't know in high school if you get free plays, honestly. But White had the ball and was rolling to the right side, so I wonder if they'll change his play up here. White takes a snap, throws a little bubble screen to number 19, and he picks up about 9, maybe 10 for the first down. That was Eli McBee again on the catch, and they do pick up the first down. And they set the ball on the 19-yard line. Snap to White. Number 25 with the carry.
25.
He's pushed the pile forward.
Manny
Pick up of about
Pickens.
6. Manny Pickens on the carry.
$1 hot dogs. Caleb, you hear that? That's cheap dinner there.
Got trips right. White back to throw. He throws to the opposite side.
Ooh,
McBee,
go
did
and
he
get
catch
it.
up? He caught the ball. It's a touchdown for the Neosho Wildcats.
He's the one that came up with the interception to end the Carl Junction
That's right.
scrimmage. And
Man, he went up and somehow kept a foot in bounds. He was right on the sideline. What a play.
Great play. Good shot there by our cameraman, Caleb. You always got to respect a good camera shot. So Neosho, what is that, touchdown number 2 for us?
Yeah,
Because
that would be
McGee
correct.
runs
Yep.
one in.
Yep, McGee runs one in, and White throws for one to McBee. Got the McBees and the McGees. The Mack brothers. Looks like we still got White in the backfield. Trouble with the snap, has to fall on it. I'm sorry, that was not White. We've got Clay. Well, that's not Jackson Ertl either. We need to get that number, though.
Yeah, I know. As incomplete pass there from number 14. Again, it says Jackson Ertl.
I just messaged somebody to see if we can get this correct on number 14 as well, so we can get that name corrected here. Got Twins, both sides. Snap is mishandled, but 14 is able to pick it up and run the football, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, maybe just a half a yard behind it. running up here in the backfield. Got number 25 in the backfield with our quarterback, Manny Pickens. 14 throws the ball deep. Oh, just off of the hands of number 19, Eli McBee. McBee's doing a target tonight.
He really has. It's interesting to see.
So we got trips right, and we got one split out to the top of your screen. And mishandled snap. Number 14 takes off and fakes somebody out, and they blow the play dead because quarterback's running with the ball. And Neosho's going trips right again. He's making his reads. And he gets sacked for a 2-yard loss.
Wow, look at that. Do you see that? Can you get a shot of that, Caleb? What is that? Is that just
it's a parachute.
A parachute.
It's a parachute.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is.
It's got a little, I don't know, go-kart type.
Go-kart looking something. That's actually really cool. You get to view the whole game that way, huh?
I guess that Neosho now has a drone to be able to follow the action on the field.
Land it on the field. That's what I want to see. Land that thing right here on the sea.
Let's let our guys get out of the way before they do that. Okay, so number 14 is a freshman. It's Coleman Charlton is our quarterback.
What did you say the name was? Coleman Charlton?
Coleman Charlton.
Okay.
It's number 14.
Looks like Carl Junction and Carthage wrapping up their scrimmage, so probably a few more plays here for the Neosho Nevada
Charlton
scrimmage.
throws to the right side. I believe that was McBee that he hit to pick up a first down on 4th. Or did he step out of bounds right before the marker? Looks like they're marking him just short.
Looks like the Carl Junction
down.
parents making their way out. Carthage parents making their way out.
Charlton takes the snaps, looks back. He's throwing down the left side. Incomplete pass. Just off the hands of, is that McBee again? I believe it is. Yes, it is. And that looks like that's going to conclude our night of scrimmaging, the scrimmages between Carl Junction and Nevada. Seen a lot of positive things tonight out of the Wildcats.
Lots of very positive things. Obviously, in the Carl Junction scrimmage, you don't give up a touchdown. You force a turnover. You score on every drive. Against Nevada, the defense, I mean, obviously, maybe didn't have all your starters out there. The second scrimmage against Nevada, but only gave up, two touchdowns, and you scored 3.
Absolutely.
And defense still looked pretty solid. Offense looked really solid. So, going to be a fun year for the Wildcats and for Wildcat Nation. I'm super excited to be alongside you guys for it. I'm sure week 1 will bring lots of excitement, and we're hoping it'll bring a W as well, Craig.
That's the main thing. We want to see a W. I'd love to go into Ozark and knock off the Ozark Tigers and bring home a W back to Neosho. That'd be a great way to start the season. going 1-0 right out of the gate.
You know, I mean, that's always the goal. I got to talk to Coach Towdy a little bit at a practice earlier this year, and he said our goal this year is 1-0 every week. It doesn't matter what happened the week before. It doesn't matter what's going to happen the week after. Every week is a brand new game. You're trying to go 1-0, and if you can put it all together, obviously the end goal is to go 9-0 in the regular season and continue to put it together in the postseason. But 1-0, you're looking at it as really what he told me is every game in the COC is bigger than any game in the state of Missouri. You've got obviously your Carthages, your Nixas, your Webb Cities, your Republics who have just come. Republic's been on the up and up. You've got Joplin. You've got just a bunch of good schools here in the COC that are looking to be that top school in the COC, but not only that, a top school in the state of Missouri. And a lot of people call it the SEC of Missouri football for a reason when you've got teams like that, like Nixa, who come off a state title loss. You've got Carthage coming off a state title loss. Of course, everybody knows about Webb City. Joplin can always put a team together. And then you've added in those new schools of Lebanon, Waynesville, Glendale that have just gotten better each year in the COC. Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting season. But going to be very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no doubt the COC is the toughest conference in the state of Missouri. I mean, every week you're facing somebody that you could beat but possibly lose to as well. Yeah. So game planning, we know coaches are game planning to try to put your players in the best position, and then once the coaches put you in that position to win, then you just got to go out and execute. And that's the key, is to make sure that you're executing the game plan that's been put together.
Yep. You know, well, Craig, if you don't got anything else, well, I'll get us out of here. So for Caleb Shoemate, our wonderful cameraman tonight, and Craig Bosley, my wonderful, I guess not really co-host, but partner. We'll say partner in crime. How about that? Partner in crime. And Zach Bertrand, going to wish you a good night and hope to see you back or see you in Ozark, or hopefully you get to join us right here on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network next week. We will be at Ozark, a 7 o'clock start, as that is our first regular season football game of the season. So looking to either see you there or join us right here on the KNEO Neosho Sports Network. Until then, we wish you a good night and go Cats.
You've been listening